What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bag Talk. I need everybody listening right now to stop spending money because you're ruining America. Like, I don't want to be dramatic, but it is true. And we're going to explain why and why, the reason why we're saying this. But please just hit us clearly. I want you to stay to the end because the points we're going to make are very important. And we can also help you make some money because we're going to tell you some investments you could get into to benefit off of the situation. There's always a bright side. But without further ado, Newski, let's put them on what just happened on this Black Friday, bro.
Yeah, so I'm about to share my screen with you guys. Everything I share will be in the description below, like always. So let's just get into it, right? A lot has occurred. So the first thing that we want to talk about is basically literally what happened on Black Friday, y'all. So right now, when you look at it, Black Friday online sales tops $9 billion, which is a new record, right? The big thing to notice here is online sales, right? Because we're transitioning from in-store foot traffic to online. But another thing is this was up 2.3% year over year. But I believe, bro, we're supposed to be in a recession, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, we're spending this much money. I wonder what that seems like. So not only did we spend this on Friday, we actually spent even more money in total, right? We spent more than 9 billion because just on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, we spent 5.2 billion online. So that equates to so far 14 billion has been spent within just a few days. On top of that, it gets worse. We're expected to spend $11 billion on Cyber Monday. This is being recorded on Sunday night and you guys are watching this on Monday. So we don't know the numbers exactly, but right now it's expected that 11 billion will be spent on Monday alone. So it's gonna get very, very interesting. The reason why we're saying this is ruining America is because one, we're supposed to be in a recession and we're still spending this much money. So this might indicate we're not in a recession, right? But two, let's talk about buy now, pay later, Rel, and what this actually means. So can you explain really quickly what's happening between the transition right now from in-store traffic to online?
Yeah, bro. So as you said, everything is transitioned from in-store to online. So first of all, that shows you the direction of the country, right? People are not going in stores anymore to buy. So for people who are looking at the situation as an investor, from an investor's mindset, you can say, hey, maybe I should focus on online retailers as far as my investments go, because stores that kind of made their name or companies that made their name from in-store traffic, they're having a lot of slowdowns because people are not going outside no more. I don't know what it is. We like being inside in our comfort of our home, buying these products, especially when they got one-day delivery like Amazon. And so a company that you could look into that's on discount might be Amazon. If you just think about it, Amazon right now is on a 50% discount from what it was just a year ago. That's ridiculous. We talk about Black Friday and you're hyped to get the products that Amazon sells for 50% off, but imagine you could get the company itself for 50% off and be an owner of Amazon at a discounted price. That's the real Black Friday deal. That's from an investor's lens. So it's not just Amazon though. There's other online retailers you could look into, like eBay, Kroger, Apple, Walmart. All these companies are like some of the top e-commerce companies in the world right now. And so just understanding this whole statistic showing us that we just set a record for online sales shows you that you should look into online retailers going forward because clearly that's the direction of the world.
That's a fact. That's extremely well broken down, bro. So another thing to point out, right? Because you guys saying retailers. Now, what I'm going to talk about is the point of sales transactions, right? So when you think about it, right now, something to really, really hone in on is buy now, pay later payments, right? We're going to explain to you what this means, but this is something you have to pay attention to. Buy now, pay later payments have increased 78% compared with the last week. Now, why is that important? What buy now, pay later means? Let's break it down. So buy now, pay later, right? Essentially is a type of installment loan. It divides your purchases into multiple equal payments, with the first one due at checkout and the remaining payments are billed to your debit or credit card until your purchase is paid in full. Keyword, in full. So a great example, you buy something for $100, you can't afford it, so you use the buy now, pay later program, because if you could afford it, you would probably just pay it off, right? But now with this program, 25 is due, right away, and the other 75 gets broken into 3 different installments of $25. But the thing is, look, these plans come with interest and fees, though some plans, depending on the provider, may charge you neither, right? So when you think about it, in this example, when you pay $25 upfront, the other 75, if you're paying it on time, you're good, right? But if you don't pay on time, they're going to charge you interest, right? Or they're going to charge you a late fee. And that's where you end up paying more than the actual payment of whatever you bought for the $100. Now, if you're asking and thinking about what those fees might be, bro, let's read this. While a buy now, pay later plan doesn't usually charge interest, long-term buy now, pay plans may charge an annual percentage up to 30%. Fees like late payments or rescheduled payments can range from $1 to $10 and sometimes are capped at 25%. This is why we say always do your research and make sure you're paying attention to detail, because yes, you don't pay the whole thing up front, but you may be paying more than the actual cost of the product or service you're buying, y'all. This is why it's super important. And this is why we're saying with this purchases, $9 billion just being spent right now, like we just pointed out, $5 billion being spent, another $11 billion being spent or projected to being spent on Monday. A lot of it is occurring on buy now, pay later. So the debt is going to go through the roof and the interest rate is going to be insane. And that's why we're saying Black Friday might have just ruined America, because we're supposed to be in a recession, but we're still spending money, right? So it doesn't make sense. Now, let's talk about the good part of this, right? How you can take advantage of this. So, Rel, can you just explain to them some of our companies that we like that deal with buy now, pay later programs, bro?
Yeah. So like we said, right, we're trying to profit off of these quote unquote negative situations. At the end of the day, that's what investors do. You know, you take a catastrophe and you find beauty in it. So the beauty here is you can see if everybody's doing the online payments, you have to look at who's helping with those transactions. For example, Block, formerly known as Square, right? I'm gonna just say Square to make it easy. Right, so Square, they help with those payments. Square also acquired Afterpay. Afterpay is a buy now, pay later company. And so you kind of get in the best of both worlds when you invest in Square. That they are involved with a lot of major companies and small businesses use Square when it comes to the online transactions as far as payments go. So from an investor lens, that might be a good place to place your money. We've seen Square go from a price of, I think, around $289 all the way down to give or take 50. Yeah, severely discounted. Doesn't mean it's a bad company. It just means that the company was overvalued before, and now it's down to a value that's actually undervalued. So if you get in a Square now, listen, it might really bless you over the next 5-10 years if you see the direction that the market is going in. Now, as for other buy now, pay later companies, like Affirm. Affirm has some great partnerships out there, right? You want to let them know like what kind of partnerships Affirm has?
Yeah, so if you think about it, it literally lines up with the companies you were saying earlier. Amazon, the number one retail provider, is partnered with Affirm, right? eBay, same thing. Target and Walmart, same thing. Now think about it. Stripe, which is another point of sale system, is partnered with Affirm. So all this goes hand in hand when you think about it. And this is why Bad Talk is putting you guys on, which is why you need to be making sure you're liking this video now. But that's why you have to look into these companies, because the future could be bright if you invest at the right time, right? And before we wrap up this video, we're going to tell you exactly what this time period is going to do with the recession and how it's going to go moving forward. So, Rel, just break that down.
Yeah, all right. So like we said, we just set a record in online sales. So that just shows what people are still spending money in a time period where we're supposed to be in a recession. So I've had debates with people this year on like, yo, are we in a recession right this second or not? And they saw like the 2 negative quarters of GDP that occurred this year. And so people are like, yo, by definition, we're in a recession. I said, yeah, by definition. But if you look at the details around it, are we really in a recession if unemployment is extremely low, at record lows basically, and And if people are still spending at record highs, basically, that doesn't sound like a recession to me. And that's why you saw debates, even with like Biden's administration saying like, hey, listen, guys, we're not in a recession. And that's really the reasons they say it. And that, yeah, they might be trying to save face, but at the same time, there's truth to what they're saying. That doesn't mean we're not about to be in a recession heavily in 2023. Why? Because the way that we get inflation down is by having the Federal Reserve increase interest rates. That's one method that they use, right? And so what the Federal Reserve does is increase interest rates, and it gets people to stop spending. Every time that numbers come in, like these numbers where they say, oh, what, we set a record for Black Friday sales. Oh, nah, people still spending. The Federal Reserve says, I bet. Let's remain aggressive in our approach and continue to increase interest rates or keep these rate hikes going for much longer than we originally anticipated. And so it's tough, y'all. It's tough because we want them to slow that down because it takes a while for these interest rate hikes to be felt in the economy. It takes between 6 to 9 months to really feel the effects of each rate hike. So for example, if we had a rate hike in January, we're not going to feel the effects of it until June or somewhere between June and September. All right, so think about it. This year alone, we've had 4 rate hikes of 75 basis points. Previously in history, we've only had 1 ever. This year, we had 4 in a row. That's insane. So the effects of those rate hikes haven't even been felt yet, y'all. It's going to really show in the numbers in 2023. So it's tough because it's like, dang, bro, 2023 is already looking tough. Now we just gave Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve more incentive to remain aggressive after these numbers. So that's why we said, like, yo, everybody's spending so much and doing all this and incurring debt. Now we already have a credit debt issue. All of this spending just shows that people are adding to the credit debt as well because we have a record high credit card debt in the country right now. It's just a catastrophe going on, and nobody wants to stop their spending. So that's why we said today, we've ruined America.
That's a great summary, honestly. The only thing I have to say is, y'all, be careful. That's really what it comes down to. Just be careful. Like, we're not saying don't shop for family and friends and celebrate the holiday season, but only shop if you can afford it. Make sure you have a budget. Make sure you're taking into account what things are. You don't have to buy everything just because it's on discount. I don't care if that $1,000 jacket is going for 70% off and now it's $300. Because yeah, it's on discount, but your wallet is still losing $300. So you're still losing money. So stop doing that crazy spending, bro. Like, just take that into account when you're making these decisions, right? So yes, we do think Black Friday just ruined America. Hopefully, y'all are gonna have some insight into this by letting us know in the comments below what's going on with this. That's very important for us because it helps us scale our channel. And another thing that's important for us is if you please make sure you like this video because that also helps the channel. So right now, please do a favor and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Plus hit that little notification bell because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you don't want to miss them, man. Make sure you check out our episode on Wednesday because we got some heat coming for you. But until then, peace.
Peace.
Soundstripe.